So before working here at the church, I had a couple of different jobs, but one of those jobs was I was a shift supervisor for Davis Child Shelter here in Charleston. And so that was interesting. I was on the 4 p.m. to midnight shift, which you would think would be awful, but it wasn't until someone didn't show up for their midnight shift. As the shift supervisor, it was my job to make sure that if someone didn't show up, either I stayed there or someone else I had to find to come in and take that job or take that shift. So this one particular evening, it was midnight and the rest of the staff leaves. My midnight crew has come in, and here was the issue. There were supposed to be 2 people on midnight shift and only 1 person showed up, which meant that I was going to have to be that second person until the next person showed up. 12:30 rolls around, he's still not there. 1 a.m. rolls around, he's still not there. You see where I'm going? It just kept progressing. We had called, we had texted. I did everything in my power to find someone else to come in and fill the shift. And at 4 a.m., there was still nobody to fill the shift. I have now been there for way too long. I am exhausted, and I have lost all hope that this person is even coming in for their shift. You see, in today's passage, that's kind of what we're seeing. The plot to kill Jesus had already started to happen. Caiaphas had already prophesied that Jesus was going to be killed, and now we're picking this up, and what we're seeing is that Jesus knows what's about to happen, and he goes away for a while. He goes away. The people are looking for him. They want to know where Jesus is. Just like I wanted to know where my worker was, these guys wanted to know where Jesus was. He wasn't where they thought he was going to be. Here's what's really cool. My guy that was supposed to be there at midnight, he didn't show up at the right time. He showed up at 4:15 a.m. It was definitely not when I wanted him to be there, but he did show up. You see, I was looking for him. I was hoping that he was coming, but about 2:30, I had given up all hope that he was going to walk through those doors. At 4:15, when he did show up, I was so excited. The people are looking for Jesus. They can't find him. They think he's completely left them. But he shows up. He shows up when he needs to. And what I think is important here is that we sometimes get caught up in looking for Jesus. We want to see where he's at. Jesus, where were you when Mama died? Jesus, where were you when this happened to me? Where were you when that happened to me? I've been looking for you. I can't find you. Where were you in all of this? But what I know is that when we look back, we can see exactly where he was. He showed up when he was supposed to, right on time. It may not be our time, but our time is not his time, and his time is not our time. But what we know about Jesus is that his time is always the right time. What is it today that you are looking for Jesus in? Do you feel like you're in a situation where you are looking and looking and looking and you can't find him? Are you looking for him to come through that door at 4:15 a.m. and relieve you from that shift that you've just worked? Sometimes we're down and out and we are just looking for Jesus and we don't know where he's at. We talked about this earlier in this devotional series, is that while we're looking for him, he's looking for us. His time is not our time, and we have to remember that. Take some time today to look for Jesus. Look for him in the situations that are taking place in your life. Allow him to show up on time in his time.